Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. It's me, Ana Malave, moving on faith. And as you can see, got my little cultivator there. And I wanted to just have a really short discussion. As a lot of you know, I do garden. And as spring has finally broken the cold weather and the last frost has came and gone, it is now time for me to prepare my soil in preparation to sow seed. So let's talk about this. And first of all, before I begin my discussion, I will say that shout out to my brother from down in Atlanta, Georgia, brother Arakyahu, and the Arakyahites, who came up a few weeks ago and who really did the full bulk of the labor to prepare my garden boxes. So I'm really just touching up and just doing a little maintenance, but he came and did the full work. So if anyone's looking for any help with your garden, he does consultations, and I'll tag him in this video as well. But I wanted to talk about a few things that I've learned, because literally every time I go to touch my garden, I learn something, and I learned so much today, and just the short amount of time that I started, that I just wanted to share it with you. So the first thing I want to talk about is I was actually preparing to pick out what seeds I was going to plant this year. And so I took my bag of seeds and I sprayed them, displayed them on the table just to look and see which ones I wanted to choose. Now, one of the envelopes that actually held my arugula, my heirloom arugula. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the term heirloom, what it means is it's a really good seed. So it means it came from an heirloom seed. So it came from a fruit that was prosperous and strong and was very fruitful. Essentially what it is like a top grade seed. So it's more certified than like something you would get from the Dollar Tree, right? So it's a more certified, more precious seed because it does have a stronger germination rate, right? So the odds of it germinating and growing into an actual plant and producing fruit is higher than if you would have got a low grade seed. So these are my heirloom arugula seeds. Now, the envelope that they were in actually opened and the seeds fell out onto my table, my kitchen table. We have like a granite marble top, some type of design on the table, and it was really hard to see the seeds, but I immediately panicked because I'm like, oh no, like these seeds are so good, I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose not one of them, because even one of them that's lost is a huge loss. These are really good seeds. They literally, I plant them every year and they grow without a problem every year, so I didn't want to lose them. But then I realized, wow, this is exactly how Yah sees us, right? When those of us who are truly, trying to live our lives according to Torah and truly trying to align ourselves with the function that He created us to dwell in, those of us who are putting His, what He requires of us first and foremost in our lives, He cherishes us. We are precious to Him, right? And so even one little seed that rolls away, He's going to search for it. Because let me tell you something. I had a hard time finding them seeds, but I sat there for like 10 minutes and I looked all up and down that table. I took a piece of paper and like tried to slide all of the seeds back into the bag because I didn't want to lose one. And this is exactly what Yah and how Yah sees us, right? If you are that precious seed, that heirloom seed, He knows that you came from seed that was strong, seed that was fruitful. And He also knows that by planting you and using you, right, you will now produce good, strong seed. And that seed will not produce good, strong seed. So, we think of this as a person, right? So we might be that first heirloom seed, right? The first of us, the first of our families who are turning to Torah. We might be that first heirloom seed. And so when He uses us and plants us, now our children whom we are raising in Torah, they will carry on that inheritance of being an heirloom seed, right? A precious seed, a seed that is guaranteed to bring forth good fruit. And so that helped me to kind of realize, like, wow, those of us who are really trying to cleave to Torah, we are truly set apart. We are truly holy. And I'm not saying this from a place of pride. I'm saying this from a place of revelation. Like, just by even observing my seeds and how I was so dead set on finding them and returning them back to where they belong, back to me, right? Collecting them back to me. That is the same way Yah sees us. Those of us who are in Torah, he sees us as being so precious, and more so, he will do anything to bring us back to him and keep us with him, right? So that was just the first lesson I learned in this whole gardening experience, and I didn't even leave the kitchen at that point. So then when I came outside, I began to till my garden, and it was really interesting because the first thing I noticed was that I have 2 plants that are already sprouting. I didn't have to do anything to it. I'll show you real quick. So here's one. This is a butter crunch lettuce. It's the first plant. It sprouted on its own. And then here's the second. Now, why is this important? Because what that showed me is the heirloom seeds, the one that naturally produce good fruit, they're going to be able to still grow on their own, like without having to sit there and I didn't have to plant these. They came back, right? The heirloom seed will always come back. And so this is just an example as to what it is when you are a strong seed that belongs to Yah. You are going to withstand the winter. You're going to withstand the weeds, and you're going to make it through, right? So that's one lesson that I learned. And the second thing was, as I was going through, I was pulling out the different weeds. And you know what? Here's the thing. They come out easy. They come out easy. Their roots are not strong enough to last in the soil. They can't do it, right? And so as I moved on to my next box, I'm still going through the soil. And I like to pull out my weeds by hand, and I don't like to wear gloves. And the reason being is because the electricity that is in our bodies match the electricity that is found in the soil. Now remember this, right? Adam was Yah breathed life into Adam and formed his body from the soil. So in essence, right, Yah's breath was the seed, but the earth was the womb. And so if the earth is the womb, then it is the mother vessel, right? Yah is the father vessel. His spirit is the seed. His spirit is life. And yet he used the earth to bring forth Adam. So when we put our hands and connect it with the soil, we are connecting with the womb that nurtured us and brought us forth, right? That Yah actually cultivated and blessed and made perfect in order to form Adam, to be in his image. So when we touch the soil, our electricities in our body and the electricity in the soil, they match, right? They work together. They become one because it is a part of our who we are, our makeup, right? And here's another amazing thing. When you have children, the first teacher of a child is their mother. The mother teaches the child first. And I thought this was so amazing because when I'm gardening, when I have my hands in the soil, the earth, the gardening, the process of cultivating the soil and preparing the soil and planting the seed and maintaining the soil and caring for my plants and reaping the harvest, all of these are lessons. Not lessons in gardening, lessons in Torah, lessons to understand the parables, lessons to understand the laws, lessons to understand the prophecies, right? The mother, which is the earth, right? The womb that we came out of is doing, excuse me, just flies attacking me, is doing its job, and it's teaching its children, right? We are still a part and connected to the soil. From soil we have come, and back to the soil we will return upon death. So, you know, like I said, even just gardening constantly teaches me lessons, and it is the mother teaching the child, right? And remember that all of this, every bit of nature is Yah, is his creation. He has created every single thing, and every single thing in its perfect function was put in place to teach us. Yes, so you can learn from the soil, you can learn from the animals, you can learn from the birds and the fish in the sea. You can learn from everything that's around you. You can learn from the sky, from the stars, from the sun. You can learn from everything that Yah has put in its perfect function, because out of everything that Yah created, and nature around us is still functioning in the capacity that Yah created it in. Man, right? Us, we are the only ones that have found different ways to be dysfunctional. And so we can't rely on learning on our own alone. But we can look at nature. We can look at what Yah has created. We can return back to the soil and let the earth teach us Torah. You know, just by watching the beginning, the preparation and the beginning of the sowing of the seed and the cultivation of life that comes from that. This is all Torah. It's all a part of Torah. And this is why it's so important for us to return back to the soil, to get our hands dirty, right? To get our hands dirty. It's not dirty. What it is you are connecting with Yah through the soil. You are connecting with life. And so, you know, that plays such a huge part for me when it comes to learning about Torah. And, you know, I will always advocate for anyone wanting to really get a better understanding of Torah. Definitely take the opportunity to start a small garden. But I do want to show y'all real quick, for those of you who know, we are with Chai Yeshua, and we are, you know, Chai Yeshua is expanding and starting Chai Yeshua East. And my husband, Shadiq, is kind of taking the reins on that. And, you know, Yah has ordained it and has blessed Chai Yeshua. And thus Chai Yeshua has blessed my husband. And Yah has blessed my husband with this opportunity to help grow Chai Yeshua by establishing Chai Yeshua East. And for those of you who have seen my husband's page, you know, we'll be hosting Shavuot, or Feast of Weeks, or Pentecost, for those of you who are more familiar with that term, next month. And I'm excited to say, so last summer, I grew wheat. And this year, folks, I'm going to be using the wheat that I grew last year, and I'm going to be grinding my own wheat seeds into my own grain in order to use it to bake the 2 sheaf loaves of bread for the wave offering for Shavuot. And I'll just give you a little sneak peek really quick of the wheat. So it's tied in a nice little bundle here, and it has endured the winter safe here in our little barn, aka our shed. But yeah, you know, we've got our wheat, and it's ripe, and it's golden, and it's beautiful, and it's going to be wonderful and ready to be made into bread for Shavuot, made into bread for the feast day. Y'all, we need to return back to our culture. We need to return back to our language. We need to return back to Torah. With that being said, I hope that this message inspires you. I hope that it helps to teach you a few things, as I have learned so much today in just the short amount of time that I've been working in my garden. And I hope that from here on, if you have any questions, you can definitely hit me up or my husband. But I hope from here on that you feel the need to search out truth and righteousness and serve Yah in both. Thank you so much for watching. Shalom.